the product went up because it was Pokemon. Of course, it went up, and they weren't going to let them have it for the lower price that they had. So they obviously are a questionable seller. And that's the thing with all of these, is that if you're anything like me, you wanted to pre-order Disney Lorcana the moment it came on your radar. Sadly, while we have hit the 6-month mark, it's still quite a ways until release, and there are no official pre-orders yet. That hasn't stopped some people from jumping over to eBay, though, in hopes of cashing in on what's sure to be this year's hottest TCG. If we take a look at eBay, you would see that there are multiple sellers, even going back as far as last month in January, selling pre-orders for a product that's not coming out until the middle of August. Let's jump over to eBay and take a look at just what it is that they're doing and why it is that you should not be buying something this far out, even if you want to. Now, what you'll see here is that if you look at the completed listings, there's actually 2 sellers that were selling and are currently still selling the pre-orders for Disney Lorcana. If you see here, there was the gift set, the treasure trove, and the starter bundle. Now, there was only one person that was doing the gift set, which I do find a little bit odd, but this is still the beginning. I'm sure there's many people that are going to be jumping on the gift set bandwagon in the future, but for now, there was only one person, and they did sell out relatively quickly in January. It looks like they were trying to sell it for $39.99, and they did only sell 10 of them, but all 10 of them did sell. If we take a look at the listings for them, you would see that they were back in the end of January that the gift set was being offered. But again, if you notice, it was for a pre-sale, again, of August 18th. I don't think these people were really thinking too far ahead of what's going to happen if this person does not get their allotment of items. If you scroll down even further, it was really interesting because their content policy for the description was correct in that it does come with 4 booster packs, 2 foil game cards, 2 oversized foil game cards, and the 34 game tokens. But then you'll notice that they have their little cancellation policy saying that they had an increase in cancellation requests, so you can't cancel anymore. And because they have a pre-sale policy, you can't get your money back either. But you can request a return once it's come, if it comes. The thing is, these were all at the end of January, and it's only just now hitting through the time frame of 180 days. So if any of these people were paying through PayPal, which a lot of people do end up paying through, rather than just putting in their credit card information to add that extra layer of security, they wouldn't have any kind of refundability if they did not actually end up getting their items, because PayPal actually has a refund ability of only 180 days from the transaction date, meaning that these people who bought items in January would not be able to ask for a refund for their individual sales. They were going for items of not just the gift set, but also the treasure trove and of the starter bundles. And where they're getting the prices from, since we don't have prices, is anybody's guess. So they were estimating $39.99 with $9.99 shipping, $69.99 with $9.99 shipping, and $74.99 with $9.99 shipping for the bundles. So if any of these ended up being cheaper when they do eventually end up coming out with the pricing, well, you already paid for it, and I guess you can try and get a return when it comes, if it comes. Now, the other ones, this guy is still selling, and if you notice, it's free shipping, but it is free shipping from France, and he's selling the bundle for $70 and the trove for $70. If you look here, it is saying free economy shipping, and I don't know about you, but let's say he's 100% above board and he's selling everything exactly the way that he is. If he sells and ships on the 18th, but he's selling with free economy shipping from France, and he's selling it to anybody in the United States, that's going to take quite a long time before it ends up arriving in the United States once it has to go through customs. You're not going to be getting that on the actual date like it would be if you were to be going through your local game store, like you should be doing for these pre-orders. It does say that he still has more than 10 available, and over the past month he has sold about 38 of them, and that's just for the starter packs. And you look, you can see that they go all the way back from the 25th, and it's a pretty steady stream of people buying these bundles. And again, a lot of these people, we are just now hit that 180-day mark, do not have any protection for if this person takes their money and runs with it. Again, it is saying that you're apparently going to be getting these by the end of February, the beginning of March. How that's going to happen with a pre-sale of the 18th is anybody's guess. But he does end up saying with just a very simple TCG first set starter bundle pre-sale 18. So he's covered his bases very loosely. He's not giving any kind of anything on it. But again, it is $70 for the US price, and it is only in US prices, even though they are coming from France according to this. There is no euro prices where it's being converted into the United States currency, which is also interesting. And these are in addition to the Lorcana troves that are also the $70. And it says that he's sold 46 of these, and again, still has over 10 available. Now, again, these are over 10 available where they have yet to confirm how many any of the distributors have received. Now, again, it is also in France, so there might be a little bit of a difference in how their distribution process works, but it's not going to be something that's hugely different, and it's not going to be crazily different from the end of January. They might have gotten a little bit of, we can actually place the orders yet, because to my knowledge, the people in the United States still are not able to even place their orders with the distributors, or they are just now starting to place their orders with the distributors, but they haven't gotten any actual pricing or any of that kind of thing. It's still just are you interested in it? Are you even going to be allowed to buy it from the distributors? Then, though, it comes upon the next people, and these are the ones that are actually doing the full-on booster boxes. And there are currently 2 sellers that have decided that a booster box is apparently worth $250. How they've decided that a booster box is worth $250 is anybody's guess, but it is apparently $250, with one person asking for $12 shipping and the other person asking for $17.05 shipping on these booster boxes. And you'll notice that they are saying a little bit different pre-sell releases instead of pre-sale, but it's still something where this one is slightly more in tune with something that would actually be a more accurate pre-order, because they are doing expedited shipping, meaning that you would receive it relatively quickly. But again, these prices, we have absolutely no idea what the pricing is going to be. So you're doing a very, very big question mark if you're buying any. And it does look like some people have purchased them. This person has had 7 of them sell between the 15th and the 19th, with 2 people buying 2 of them each. So they are seeing people buying them. And you notice that it doesn't accept returns, and it's just very, very simply that it's a release. And if you go down here, though, this person does have a little bit more in the terms of good feedback, but it's all in the past 6 months, and it's only for feedback. So they're very new, which is a red flag. a very big red flag. But again, other than that, it does have the expedited shipping, which is a little bit better than the one going from France. If we go over to the next one, though, this one has apparently the 9 have sold and is also doing expedited shipping. How expedited shipping is going to only cost $12 for this one is anybody's guess, but they're only guessing it's going to take $12 for their expedited shipping. And they have had 9 of them sell, with one person going so much as buying 3 and one going and doing 2. They are the ones that have been a little bit faster on the trigger as far as the booster boxes being on the site since the 11th, it looks like. But it does look like people haven't been buying them since word's been going out. And I have actually been seeing some ads for both the booster boxes as well as the trove being advertised as bots on Twitter. So you can take that as you want. But this person does have a little bit more as far as their feedback goes with 50, but you notice that it's not 100% feedback. It is only 96%. And if you go down here, they're trying to hype you up with lock yourself into the Lorcana game before it's all gone, trying to get that FOMO into you. Look for Mickey, Cruella, Elsa, Robin Hood, Peter Pan, and all your favorite characters. Again, trying to get that little bit of a FOMO in there. But if you go down here, this is the one that is the most iffy. If you see here, within the past 6 months, they ordered a booster box case of Pokemon TCG Evolving Skies. And it was supposed to arrive, they ordered on the 25th of September, and they were strung along. And the product went up because it was Pokemon, of course it went up, and they weren't going to let them have it for the lower price that they had. So they obviously are a questionable seller. And that's the thing with all of these, is that there's only so long that you can put in for these feedbacks. There's only so long that you can put in for a request for a refund. If you had done it if you had used PayPal and done it when he first did it on the 11th, when it first came out, that would be over 180 days away. And say he never gave you the item, never shipped it, never did anything, you would be without luck. You'd be SOL. If we look at the pre-sale policy for eBay, it does say that every single one of these is breaking policy, but it doesn't seem to matter that eBay, they're not doing anything about these. Because it does say that you have to say pre-sale, which is interesting how some of them went pre-sell, pre-sale, pre-sell. That's not the nitpicky part. But the more important part is the guaranteed shipment within 30 days of purchase. And that is because 30 days of purchase is the guideline for being able to do a return, a refund, everything. And it's most likely that you're going to be able to get the item. They're going to have the item. They're going to have it allocated. They're going to know the correct pricing for the item. And you're not going to get it canceled on you. But while they have the policy on here for it, obviously these things are not going to be shipped within 30 days of the purchase. It's not possible. We are currently at 170 something days. And it's less than 180 now, which means you are within the PayPal refund guidelines, but that's the only benefit you have. It does state that the item must be available to ship, clearly stated in the listing. Listings must clearly indicate in the title and description that it's being offered for pre-sale, so they are following along with that. And then handling times details should indicate the time it will take the seller to acquire the item, in addition to the time it will take the seller to deliver the package to the shipping carrier. And that's really important because there are a lot of people that go onto eBay and they will sell things that they have gotten from another party themselves. So they have pre-ordered something themselves and then they realize that they got it for $20, but the price has shot up to $120. So they will go on and pre-order it, or rather, pre-sell it on eBay for, the $120 price, saying that it's a pre-sell. And they have to wait for it to be shipped to them before they can ship it to you. And that goes on with all of these items. Activity that doesn't follow eBay policy could result in a range of actions, including, for example, administratively ending or canceling listings, hiding or demoting all listings from search results, lowering seller rating, buying or seller restrictions, and account suspensions. All fees paid or payable in relation to listings or accounts on which we take any action will not be refunded or otherwise credited to your account. So it sounds very much in your favor, but it's not. It honestly is not. Because if we go over to Lorcana.com, an excellent source for anybody who's looking for pretty much anything. Again, we are 178 days from release, plus, the hours, of course. And that's as of this recording. Now that could be a little bit less, and you can again go to Lorcana.com whenever you're watching this and see the up to the minute, up to the second, as that matter goes, detail of when you are expected to get that August 18th listing. But it's still a matter that it's not within that 30 days of purchase timeline. 178 days, 179 days is not within 30 days. And there are going to be more of these popping up, more and more, the more people hear about Lorcana. And it's a question that gets asked over and over and over again. When are pre-sales? Is anyone pre-ordering? Where can I pre-order? I want this, I want this, I want this, because they are afraid that it is going to sell out. Don't go to eBay this far out in the future. It's just not worth it. On a slightly other note, there are other items that are on eBay that you can use this to your advantage of and be aware of. For instance, there's the information that we've gotten now that they have started selling fake Mickeys, and you can tell that this is a it's no longer on the site. You have to go back and look at it, but look for it. But this is something that was taken down, and you can tell right down here that it is fully fake. It is not a real Mickey, and people are going to be starting to do this again and again and again because they see that easy money. They see that, oh, I can take advantage of this, especially with the Mickeys. Because if we come over here and look at something that is in a authenticated state, then, authenticated, somebody's asking, over $2,000, $2,500 for a Mickey as an authenticated 9. That's not even a 9.5 or a 10, and there are some that are on the site right now for that. But if we go down here, you can see very clearly it has those little dots, and it's going to get to the point where unless it is in a numbered and authenticated case, we're not going to be able to purchase any of these raw Mickeys any longer because of people like this. This is something that has been notated with multiple people in the Discords, that there have been issues with things showing up from Italy specifically. I don't have too much details on that, but I have seen multiple notifications of people talking about issues with Italy specifically, and that they weren't surprised that this one was coming from Italy because of that. So that is something to keep an eye on, is that if it is coming from overseas, then that does have a slightly higher probability of it being a fake. So with all of that in mind, you just need to basically keep an eye on the space for when pre-orders are going to be available. One, we're not going to know pre-orders until we know pricing. Nobody is going to do pre-orders, official, actual pre-orders, until we have an MSRP pricing on the matter. That's just not going to happen until the local game stores know what the pricing is going to be. They're not going to throw up a random price that's just going to be, oh, well, I'm going to throw this booster pack up here for $5, and then suddenly we're shown that MSRP is $7. I don't think that the MSRP is going to be $7, but that's just an example. It's not going to happen for reputable people who want to make sure that they are getting a loyal base and an accurate count of people that are going to be buying their product. So keep an eye on this space. I will, and my husband will update you for when we know when pre-orders are available. We will be pre-ordering with our local game store, as well as probably anybody else that will have our pre-orders available. So as soon as we know that there are official, actual pre-orders that are out there that are reputable, we will let you know, and you'll be able to go out there and you'll be able to purchase and make sure that you have yours secured in before you actually need to worry about day of release buying. Until then, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and stay tuned for more on Glitters of Lorcana.